Good morning. Congratulations, graduates. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. Um, I'd like to share with you a video that I put together. It's actually something that I've been thinking about for a few years now, of getting the whole school community, not just our sixth grade staff, involved in a little present for you all. And this seemed like the perfect year to get it done. So here are many of the staff members of the Douglas School who have taught you over the years in a little graduation present for you.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. You've got a friend in me.
Yeah, you've got a friend in me.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me.
You got troubles and I got them too.
There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We'll stick together and we'll see it through. 'Cause you've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me.
Some of the folks might be a little bit smarter than I am,
Bigger and stronger too. Maybe.
but none of them ever love you.
The way I do. It's me and you.
And as the years go by,
Our friendship will never die.
you're gonna see it's our destiny.
You've got a friend. You've got a friend.
Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too. Maybe none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you.
And as the years go by,
Our friendship will never die.
We're gonna see it's our destiny.
You've got a friend in me.
You got a friend in me.
'cause you got a friend in me.
Thank you, Mr. Brogy, for putting that together, and thank you, Douglas staff. That is marvelous. What a special treat. And now we'd like to start each of our graduating classrooms with a few reflections from our students.
Sixth grade graduation is a time of looking forward to our future, but it's also a time to look back at events and friendships that brought us to where we are right now. So before we finally and officially leave Douglas, I want to share some memories that my classmates have from all their years here.
In my time at C.T. Douglas School, I spent a total of 7 years, and in these 7 years, it's been challenging, hard, and fun. I had a lot of good memories here at C.T. Douglas School, but all of it wouldn't have been the same way without my friends who were there with me the entire way. This connection all started when I first joined kindergarten, when the teacher, Miss Fitzpatrick, called out that we were going outside for recess. Everyone was playing around in the most awkward way because no one knew anyone. There was a lot of people there, but the people who stood out to me most were me and Graya, Justin's son, and Caleb. Eventually, we went up to each other. I was nervous, but then I realized they were nervous too, which made me feel a lot proud, knowing there were other people like me. And at that moment, we became friends. I felt very cheerful this day because I felt like there were other people in the world for me, other than my family. This was a very special connection for me because they were actually my very first nice friends. And making these friends gave me a feeling I could never forget.
My favorite memory from first grade was probably during our last exhibition when we were focusing on service animals and how they helped, and we made like books about them. And then I remember then at the last point we went to Barefoot Books and we tried to sell our books, and it was just such a fun experience.
Reflection on Douglas made me more confident. When I was in second grade, Grace Martin, Grace Parker, and I went to the talent show. We all loved the show Liv and Maddie, so we decided to sing the theme song of the talent show. We practiced every day and learned the song by heart. Once we learned it by heart, we started practicing together. We were off-key, but we never gave up. The day of the talent show, I was shivering with nerves. On the other hand, Grace Martin was jumping with excitement. When the talent show started, I watched many different performances. As we walked up the stairs, I had butterflies in my stomach. I looked at all the people below. There were so many people. We were about to start. I grabbed my microphone and started singing. I loved it. I was not nervous or scared. It was an amazing experience. Whenever you think something is hard or scary, don't give up. You will succeed.
Excellent advice. Excellent advice from our 6th grade students. Mr. Henke, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, it is time for your class.
Wonderful.
Thank
you to all the folks who were able to make it and join us today. Harry Abramowitz. Isayo Arroyo. Veronica Chow. Madison Draper. Jenna Forte. John Gaudet. Amin Graya. Paige Harding. Lila Hibbard. Rowan Krantz. Connor Lent. Ruby Mathis. Jake Mormon. Daniel Park. Emma Parker. Eleanor Paul. Kurt Raymond. Lucia Sabatelli. Eric Shee. Torben Stillman. Soham Sudakaran. Connor Woods. Hannah Shui.
Congratulations, students from Mr. Henke's class. Thank you, Mr. Henke.
Thank you.
Moving upstairs was a rite of passage for us in the 3rd grade. The rumor mill was wild. Would we have desks? Would there be homework? There was definitely an increase in schoolwork. We learned that social studies and science could be hands-on and so much fun. Little did we know, some of our fondest memories would come from dissecting owl pellets. One 6th grader recalls, I thought it was really disgusting, but I was fascinated by what was inside. It was really special researching and writing our culminating owl report that we spent months working on. We also learned more about our state's history, and who could forget our amazing trip to Plymouth Plantation. Another classmate recalls, I loved learning about pilgrims with the Mayflower activity. I remember we split into teams, and based on our group's choices, we would see who survived. This activity made me want to go to school for the sole purpose of continuing the game. From typing.com to A Voyage on the Mayflower, third grade is remembered by all as an interactive learning at its best.
Our newly acquired typing skills would come in handy in 4th grade, as we received our very own Chromebooks. We were introduced to SD Math as one of the classmates recalls. I remember thinking, wait, we're allowed to play math games on our Chromebooks? Who knew that the math could be so fun? Whether it was learning about fractions, geography, explorers, or writing a 5-paragraph essay, we were making strides in our learning and use of technology. But it wasn't all business.
Hiking Mount Wachusett really represented the emotional and academic climb we would make in the 5th grade. The academic push continued, but for some it would mark a seismic shift in relationships as well. The social scene became real for many, and as one 6th grader recalls, we would sit in the back of the class at a crescent-shaped table. I had eventually become great friends with them and no longer felt as alone as I did the first couple of days in that classroom. It's funny how many friends you can make by just starting with one. In addition to branching out and making new friends, many of us made connections with our teachers. Another student recalls, Mr. Kale really got to know me, and that was really important to me. Our 5th grade teachers encouraged us to do our best academically and put us to the test mentally. We learned that mistakes are okay and that learning is a process. Above all, we know in our hearts that our friends and teachers would always be there for us.
Mrs. Hubble, are you ready?
Indeed I am. Survi Bhatia. William Cronin. Alessandro Gutteridge. Caleb Handel. Isabel Kelly. Hamid Khan. Hamza Khan. Hannah Kim. Emma Klimarchuk. Topher Korka. Ajay Krishnan. Mia Lai. Caitlin Lowe. Grayson McCarg. Sanskriti Nistala. Emily Phoenix. Hudson Schwartz. Esther Song. Isadora Souza. Maeve Steinkraus. Arlo Sweeney. Holden West. Benjamin Zambrano Rosal. And Brian Zen. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, Mrs. Hubble's class. And now for some more student voices.
Finally, we arrived at 6th grade. The best year of all because we were the biggest kids in school. 6th grade was guaranteed to hold big events as well as small moments for us to remember forever. This year, we definitely had big events and small moments and something else that no one could have ever predicted. The biggest event of 6th grade happened just 2 weeks after we started school, Nature's Classroom. What have I gotten myself into? One student recalls thinking on day one. The ropes course, making Johnny cakes, chopping wood, forging metal, singing and entertainment, a night hike, making fire and shelters, and awesome counselors. All of these activities kept us super busy for 3 days. But what was the best part of Nature's Classroom? It was a fun experience as one sixth grader, but really I got to spend time with my friends and also got to talk to other people I never talked to before, and we became friends. Someone else summed it up this way: I left Nature's Classroom such a different person.
After Nature's Classroom, 6th grade was filled with smaller moments, but they were just as memorable. Like the first time doing Radio Douglas, that was kind of terrifying for some of us. Knowing that the entire school was listening to every word we said. We dug for artifacts like real archaeologists, right there next to the swing set. For a few weeks, we were even ancient Egyptians with real roles, from pharaohs to farmers. We marched in our last Halloween parade, taking in the crowds. We even counted the da-da-da-das of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. There are a lot. On Thursdays, some of us would even walk with our friends over to New London's for pizza. But the best small moments ever? Recess, definitely.
But this year had something in store for us beyond big events and small moments. This year brought something no one ever could have imagined on that day in September when Mrs. Hubble, Mr. Hinka, and Mrs. Oxnard stood at their doorways and welcomed us into 6th grade. School closed abruptly on March 13th, abruptly, like a balloon suddenly popping. Without any warning, a new sort of school day began. Zoom, remote learning, synchronous time, Google Classroom, breakout rooms, a whole new language. We had so many questions. What about the yearbook, graduation, visiting RJ High School, the fun run, Douglas Day? The answers were all the same. Well, it's gonna be different this year. Many classmates uttered again and again, I miss my friends, another student said. I even miss my desk. Most of us have been waiting 7 years to get to do our play, but weren't able to. So we started appreciating and doing different things, like being in our PJs or sitting outside for morning meeting, not being constrained by the school's clock. Birthday brigades, rolling rallies, Zoom buddy meetings, receiving handwritten postcards from our teachers, and a final pen pal letter from Greece. We played mystery trivia, mystery tunes, and Kahoot, all via Zoom. And who knew that a 6th grade play could be reimagined and engineered into a virtual stage? The bare necessities, one 6th grader summed it up in this way. I learned to appreciate the smaller things in life and not take anything for granted. This is why being grateful is the most important connection I've made at Douglas. In the virtual world as well as the real world, we all have special memories of Douglas that we all carry with us forever.
And on to Mrs. Oxnard's class. Are you ready, Mrs. Oxnard?
I am ready. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Here we
right.
go for the introduction of Mrs. Oxnard's students.
All right, room 17. Isaac Alves. Georgia Amendalia. Miriam Chinadarai. Dylan Cotter. Felipe da Silva. Charlotte Dickerson. John Funk. Cesar Gonzalez. Lindsay Lammy. Max Magan. Liberty McCloskey. Fidan Nagayeva. Grace Parker. Alex Pierce. Victor Quintero. Aislinn Ryan. Nora Savage. Divya Sharma. Justin Sun. Kyle Trevisone. Aiden Whitney. Julie Yan. Sarah Zhou. Maxton Zilinek. Congratulations, room 17.
Thank you, Mrs. Oxnard. Congratulations to all our graduating 6th graders. We are very, very, very proud of you. It is now time for our annual tradition of the 6th grade graduation slideshow. Special thanks to Mrs. Krantz and all of the parents who worked so hard on the yearbook and on this video. Enjoy the next 8 minutes.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, yeah. You'll always have my shoulder when you cry. I'll never let go, never say goodbye. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh. You can count on me 'cause touch the clouds. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I stretch my hands out to the sky. We dance with monsters through the night. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My I howled at the moon with friends, and then the sun came crashing in. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. But all the possibilities, no limits, just epiphanies. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No, just don't wake me now. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My I hear it calling outside my window. I feel it in my soul. The stars were burning so bright. The sun was out till midnight. I say we lose control. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. Everything is looking up, everybody up now. This is gonna be the best day of my life. Tell you to run. Nobody say nobody else. I would like to hold my hand. Have a run with it. Have a crowd. I would like to hold my hand. Have a run with it. Have a send me away. Send me away. Send me away. Send me my way. Send me away. Send me away. Send me my way.
Yay. And ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of our 6th grade graduation. It has been a very, very unique spring and a very unique graduation ceremony. Mrs. Lareniga, do you have any final words for us?
I do. Watching all of that reminds me of the many things that you have accomplished as a grade level and all the joy that you've brought to school and all the fun that we've had together over the last 7 years. We always say that we want kids to want to come to school. This particular group of children made us want to come to school. Thank you all for making the last 7 years wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Lareniga. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Brogy. Thank you, Mrs. Oxnard. Thank you, Mrs. Hubble. Thank you, Mr. Henke. It has been a pleasure working with you all. It has been a pleasure working with all the students, and we wish you a happy and healthy summer vacation. We will see you all shortly. 12:30 today. We leave Douglas School with our massive parade. We can't wait to wave to you and wish you one more congratulations. Bye, everybody.